So I have a confession to make. I don't actually like the HUI online system very much. So thank you, Qifeng. Today, because of your clear explanation, I think I've grown to like it a lot better. So I think you did a few things really well in this speech. And firstly, the most important thing of all, you knew the material like the back of your hand. I remember a few of us while we were giving the workshop, a few of us were asking questions and you answered them confidently without missing a bit. You didn't even think. So that shows that you knew your material really well and you have really, really good knowledge. And another thing that I really liked is that it's very clearly and well organized. You divided it into the what and the how. The what is the pathway system, and then next you talk about the how to use the online system. So it's a very clear and well organized framework for your workshop. Now, with that said, I do have some recommendations for for areas you could work on if you want to make this workshop, your speech even better. So the first one, of course, has to do with time control, because it went a bit over time. So, and I have to admit that time control for a workshop like this is very difficult because there's a lot of uncertainty at play. There are people asking questions, and then you have the equipment. Sometimes you may have to wait for the equipment, and because you're showing the online system, and the system is sometimes slow to load, so all that adds to your time. So it might be quite tricky to do time control. My suggestion would be to condense the main body of your speech, because honestly, often when we go to a workshop, how much do you remember from a workshop? Probably maybe half or less. And for an online system like this, often we learn through doing. So maybe you can shorten the main body of your speech and maybe reserve a bit more time for questions, because usually questions touch on the main challenges that people will face when they're using the system, which brings me to my next recommendation. You could focus a bit more on the challenges, the main problems. For example, you mentioned that before a new member gives their Toastmasters icebreaker speech, they must first answer one table topics, right? So that's something that's new, something that we don't know, and something that could potentially be a problem. So you could, if you're doing this workshop, maybe you could touch on all these different problems that people might face. So overall, it's a great workshop, a great speech. It's well organized. You use clear, simple language to explain what could be a very complicated material. And my main recommendation would be to do more for time control and to touch on key problems that users may face. Thank you, everyone.